And we're back. King Will, stay here. 3B, stay here. Dave, how you doing? Tracy, what's up? I'm equally as hot as I am cold. Lions fan, are you disappointed right now? Fox Fury. That's probably what I'm doing for the rest of the night. Mommy made me mash my M&M's. Back here after a long cold grilling session because it's cold outside. What's up, John Tucker? Be more, that is in fact a 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner. Very good eye though. I got a heater running way back there. I don't know if somebody that likes audio stuff could tell me if they can hear me over the heater that's in the very back of the shop. Would be great. I also got some bluegrass playing. John Tucker, is that yours? 49 Ford Deluxe? If so, nice. Keeping them old folks on the road still. It's too bad I don't have 20 grand. I gotta flip this around. What do you, John? You fix them, sell them, or is it just something you're trying to sell that you've had? I wish I could buy everything. I'm kind of like, or I wish I could be like, I wish I could buy all the cars. It sounds reasonable though. You know how frustrating it is when somebody's got like a project and they sell it and they're like, yeah, it could be yours for $192,000. I got a couple of projects back here. I don't own this Ford here, but my whole thing is AuxAuto is an automotive nonprofit, and I provide financial mechanical assistance to people that depend on their transportation for a living. I basically pay the shop bills for people that can't afford to make their vehicles safe or operational, and I come on here and I promote my nonprofit companies, a 501c3 in the state of Tennessee, and I showcase some of the projects that I have that I work on, like this 69 Roadrunner, the Charger. I've got a 68 300 back there. I got a 74 New Yorker. I got an Imperial. I got a couple other things, but I just try to get people to follow along, and hopefully one day all the follows can turn into a way to pay for these AuxAuto assists where I'm fixing other people's cars. Heck yeah, be more. I do too. Chad, I'm in, I claim Nashville, but I'm southeast of Nashville, pretty far out in the middle of nowhere. John Tucker, you can afford it, just maybe not right now. give it some time. I also I got YouTube on one device and I got TikTok on another one. So if it sounds like I'm talking to myself, it could be that I just am, but also that I'm talking to somebody else on another device. I know Hendersonville. Isn't Maple Motors up there in Hendersonville? I always like meeting folks from Tennessee. This is what I'm doing. What is tonight? Saturday? Yeah. This is my Saturday night right now. Hi, Kyle. You got it, Maggie. That's a 1969 Roadrunner. I should push that up a little bit, huh? It's a good eye, though. What'd you have to do to it, B-More? I think, Chad, you're the same thing of me, but I'm on the other side. So I claim Nashville, but really where my shop is, and this automotive complex that I call AuxLand, which is where my automotive nonprofit home base is kind of out in the middle of nothing. Was that so God for God so loved the world he gave his only Ford to me? What's up, Mark? It's good. I've been trying to extract some audio from it. I've been using the charger because the exhaust on that car, it's got glass packs on it, but they come out of the rear. On the Roadrunner, they come out of the right behind the rear wheels on both sides. It's got an X pipe in it though, but you can't really get the full audio profile of it. What you want to know about it, Matthew Dean? Like I know a Matthew Dean. Hey, I'm an open book. I'll tell you all about that car. I got a lot of stories about it. There's a couple of surprises. There's two of them. At one point, I thought it was stolen. It's been redone twice. The engine's been replaced twice. I have the original. It's over here on an engine stand. I've actually traced its genealogy back to where it came from in Bowling Green, Kentucky. For my YouTube folks over here, I got one device on YouTube and one on TikTok. But if it sounds like I'm talking to myself, it's TikTok people on there that are commenting, so I'm not losing my mind completely, just a little bit. Be More, the Roadrunner has its original 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner 383 in it. I had to do some, I had to take it somewhere to have somebody do some stuff to it, but I put it back in there and it's its original 4-speed. Everything on that car is original. It's missing its fan shroud. I put a new radiator in it because I took it on a road trip in June of this year. And then it's Saturday. I come in here and I try to promote my automotive nonprofit. I basically pay the shop bills for people that can't afford to make their vehicles safe or operational. And oh yeah, Northeast. That man, when I got here, Here, what's kind of funny is when I got out here tonight, because I hadn't been at the shop in a couple of days, and I was like, it's dark. It's been dark for a couple hours. It's probably too late. I'm not gonna go live. I'm just gonna go to bed, watch some TV. It was 6 o'clock. It was 6 o'clock, and it had been dark for a few hours, and it was cold in here. So I turned that torpedo on, and I went out and cooked some burgers next to the 74 New Yorker, and now it's hot in here, which is great. I get nervous and I start sweating. I was hoping the bluegrass would drown out the torpedo. Be more. I'm sitting in bench seats from a 69 Newport. John Tucker. It's actually, I think it's Matthew 6:24, and I can't quote it directly, but it basically says, "Don't worry about what you have. I'll provide what you need." You got heated floors, Raymond? It is a nice shop. I haven't seen you live, but you need to do that more often because that is some interesting stuff. And I happen to really enjoy it. All the commentary on these jumps that I've honestly I've seen for 20 years, and then I didn't know that it was you until the last couple of years. Thanks, Be More. You think this one's nice? Go check out Northeast. Yeah, I will tune into that for sure. You should, because honestly, I think I was doing like meal prep for the week the last time I saw your live. But it was interesting to know some of the backstories and some of the stuff that you don't see. It's just, I don't know, it's interesting. Gina's back. Meow's here. What kind of 67 Dodge, KJ? Yeah, Meow coming in strong with the green screen. What's up, Michael, over on YouTube? How you doing? Welcome in. I got a different vantage point because I got the heater over there by the door. Tyler, it was actually $6,000 back in 2000 or back in 1997. Northeast, I don't think you get a whole lot of warm weather up there. But yeah, when you come down to Kentucky and then even lower down here in Tennessee, gorgeous, gorgeous. KJ, I end up starting like all the cars a whole bunch of times. I'll go live on here for a couple hours just to promote my automotive nonprofit. Basically, I pay the shop bills for people that can't afford to make their vehicles safe or operational. And I come on here and try to promote it, and hopefully that one day the likes and the subscriptions and the comments and everything turns into a way to pay for other people's repairs on their cars. But so towards the end of it, I'll go start a couple of them. I don't know if the Roadrunner will start because I actually left the battery cable connected, and I have some I have some gauges in there that draw power. KJ, if you like that car, you need to go check out Northeast Ohio Dukes right there. I promise you, if you don't, this car right here, yes. I think it's 47 here. That's why I got my, matter of fact, I got this hoodie my daughter got me. That's me and her. And then I got my jacket she found at a flea market for me. Kyle, I think it's actually EFA, right? Oh, I looked this up the other day. Oh, there it is. Yes, F8 Ivy Green Poly. It's still yeah, it's still on my it's still on my search history for on another device there. What's up? Because fishing. Wyatt, my dream car is a General that I drive every single day. That would be my dream car. Honestly, though, this Roadrunner is kind of like that because my engine guy here in up in a little bit north of where I am in Putnam County basically redid this Plymouth Roadrunner 383, and I could technically, this could be my daily driver. I don't think that I really have a specific dream car, but what I really want is a 67 to 72 anything car where everything works on it, and to be my daily. That's my dream car. The Charger sort of could be. Of course, every car that I have, basically the heater core's rotted out, so I've got the none of them are operable. But I mean, I can put a few more jackets on. The Charger sort of is. It's a driver. It's got a 73 RV 440 in it. Aaron, yeah, that's it right there. I've got a fuel tank that's right there. I'm trying to put in it, but I keep procrastinating. It gets cold and I get cranky. And I can't find the filler tubes for the tank. I've been trying to pull some audio, trying to find that exhaust note, and I was using the Charger to record some exhaust sounds, and I ordered a new microphone. Hopefully that'll be here. It'll be here Monday, so I won't really be able to make any videos about it. But I'm trying to find a way to record premium audio to put in some of the car videos that I do. I didn't see it in there, Aaron. There wasn't a filler tube. They got everything else, but not that. Or at least I didn't see it. It's just rubber hose. I think I've got the return hose. I've got something I could use for that, but I can't find the big one for the filler neck of the tank. Welcome back, Gina. Welcome back, Moore's Garage. The OGs of the AuxAuto Live. Out here at Auxland, the automotive complex that houses AuxAuto, the automotive nonprofit that provides financial mechanical assistance to people that depend on the transportation for living. I basically pay the shop bills for people that can't afford to make their vehicle safe or operational. And I come on here and try to promote it. I got TikTok on one device, I got YouTube on another one, and I just showcase some of the things that I'm working on. I hang out and talk about stuff, talk about car stuff, sometimes talk about life stuff. We've done that before a few times. And hopefully all that turns into a way to pay for these AuxAuto assists. I've done 15 of them so far to the tune of about 15,000 bucks. So they average out to about $1,000 a piece. And hopefully one day I can pay for these by this and this and this and this. Euphoria over on YouTube. That's pretty much it. That was my spiel. I say that so many times. If anybody's been in here before, they kind of get tired of hearing that. Oh, this Chevy. What's up, I'm Ox. This Chevy is bananas. Hello. since I have so many friends on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday-ish, I try to go live as long as possible. What's cool is I'll talk to you soon there, Chevy is bananas. I've made $100 on TikTok lives, just coming on here jibber jabbering about random stuff. And I feel like if I do this until the summer, and all the time that I have that I'm able to, I'll be able to pay for an AuxAuto Assist where I pay the shop bills for somebody's vehicle that can't afford to make their vehicle safe or operational. All 100% with social media. And that's going to be a big thing for me because that's what I'm trying to do. Monkey Man, no, his has like 1,500 horsepower. My Charger's got a 440 from a 1973 RV that's probably got like, I don't know, 225. It's still got the torque, but it's a cruiser. I don't think Whistling Diesel would let me hang on to his Charger. Euphoria, I hope that's true. That's what I'm trying to do. I mean, listen, over here on YouTube, ain't nobody gonna tune in to listen to me talk, so I gotta wear this cool jacket, have some of my projects in the background out here at my shop, and just to get people to kind of tune in until I can explain what I'm trying to do. Rough Rider, yeah, that is a 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner. Euphoria on YouTube, it took me like 5 months to make $100, so I'm proud about that. Ray, I do. As a matter of fact, it's right here. 1969 Dodge Charger, base model, originally a 383. Now it has a 440 from a 1973 RV. We can look at it, but what I prefer is to do it towards the end of when I'm on here, because what happens is I end up getting up 400 times a night, and my phone is charging, so I got it hooked up. There we go. But I do also, Ray, part of what I do is I showcase some of the projects that I'm working on in the cars that I have. So if you were to follow along to AuxAuto, pretty much all of my videos, aside from the ones that are pinned, I think all the ones that are pinned are a cool story, and then the last 2 AuxAuto Assists that I've done, but all the other ones are all the projects that I have. Appreciate that Euphoria over on TikTok. And appreciate you following along. That's what I'm trying to do here. Appreciate it, Walmart worker. And I also appreciate you working at Walmart, because I go there and it's nice to have employees there that keep the place running. Doug, I'm putting a new fuel tank in that Ford. That Ford actually, Ray, it is a Ford. It belongs to a family that's had it since it was new, and they got it redone years ago, about 5 or 6 years ago. It caught fire under the hood, burned up the carburetor, all the plug wires, the wiring harness that goes to the electronic ignition control, the distributor, the electronic ignition, and it sat for a long time. And I ran into the owner of it, and I was like, "Hey, that's a cool truck. You want to sell it?" And they're like, "Oh, there's no way we can sell it, because it's like a family heirloom." And I was like, "Well, why is it sitting there?" And they told me the story of it, and they're like, if we could just find somebody to get it running, that would be cool, because then she's like, my dad could take another drive in. And I was like, oh, I think I know somebody that might be able to help. Of course, that was March. It's taken a while, but once I put the fuel tank in it and I replaced some fuel lines, I should have it good to go. Gina, me being lazy, pretty much. Procrastinating. I just need to put it in there. Honestly, you were there when I took the bed up. But I do need to find a filler tube. I need to find a couple other things before I can actually install it correctly. And I need to find the bolts that I broke off, taking the fuel straps off. Yeah, I was napping. Sleeping in the bed of the Ford. Casey, I'm not sure. Although I had a friend in high school that had those same wheels on his Mustang. Knight Rider's got a game. What's the game? I feel like I'm going to run out of kerosene soon. I'll run out of kerosene, I'll freeze, and then we'll look at all the cars, and then I'll go to sleep later. Nolan, you do see it generally in the back. You are correct. What's everybody doing on a Friday night except for, no, it's Saturday. That's how behind I am. I don't even know what day it is. I mean, you work 21 hours and then it's like, oh, all the days get mixed up. Gina, now's your chance to beat Moore's Garage out on a #1 gifter. Grizzly, you must be up north. My little brother's in Michigan, and they're pretty snowed out right now. You know, that sounds kind of familiar, KC. Yeah, I think you guys are all pretty snowy up there. What's up, NASCAR Mike? I got a couple NASCAR stories I could tell. I've told them before. I'm doing pretty good, NASCAR Mike. Just hanging out here in the shop trying to promote my automotive nonprofit, AuxAuto. It is a 501c3 nonprofit in the state of Tennessee. Like one of those that you could search on the IRS and it shows up like it's a real business entity. I have to have other people involved. I have to have meetings every year. I have to keep minutes. It's a real nonprofit, I guess is the whole point there. But basically what I do is I come on here and try to promote it. And I basically right now pay the shop bills for people that can't afford to make their vehicle safe or operational. And I'm hoping to one day turn all this social media stuff into a way to pay for it. What's good, EW? Welcome back. I'm trying to drown out the sound of my JIT turbo encabulator, pre-famulated amulite heater that's going on in the background. Wendy Harrison, thanks for coming in. John's got no shirt on. But Tree Boy's here. Oh, I'm sorry, NASCAR. I do apologize. But thanks for hanging out. Oh, Gina, I love that smell. It does. It's kind of like the smell of cigarettes. When I smell somebody smoke, I go right to Little League. Back when the parents were smoking in the stands, and the umpire in between innings will light up a cigarette. You can't do that anymore, but that's what it reminds me of. Or even when I used to get my hair cut at this old school barber when I was like, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. Everybody just sitting in the waiting chairs smoking cigarettes, putting their cigarettes out in the little ashtray that's in the chair. RIP Zinger cars. I like anything. There's nothing I don't like except for squatted trucks and cambered Hondas. Gene, I'm pretty sure that's the most effective way to heat a place. My shop is 14-foot ceilings. It's a 40 by 60, and it's pretty warm in here, to be honest with you. And White Claw motors. That's what I should call. I should name that bay the White Claw Bay that the truck is in. Rough, what kind of early B body? Ric Flair's here. I like cars, cool generally. I appreciate it. I do, in fact, enjoy that generally quite a bit. '65 Belvedere. Sorry, yeah. That's an old lady right there. There actually is a 65 Belvedere. There's a 68 Chrysler New. I don't think you can see it. Oh, there it is. 68 300. AW, that's a 69 Plymouth Roadrunner. Appreciate it, Gina. Yeah, that was part of the whole process when I came out here. It was cold. My head hurt. I was tired. It was raining. I thought it was 10 o'clock, but it was actually 6. And I was kind of looking around, and I was like, that would be kind of cool because I could turn the heater on. It's on the other side of the shop. I got the internet coming from the other side of the shop. I was like, you know what? Let's go. Let's just do it. Casey, the orange car in the back is a 1969 Dodge Charger. Rough Rider, you had the Belvedere, right? Yes, you did. Nice. That's it. It's only the Charger. I've got it kind of stuck away in the background right now. EW, I got These ones in here, there's a 81 Corvette right here. There's that 68 300 over there. I was grilling next to the 74 New Yorker, and then I've got a 69 Imperial Project car, a 69 Newport parts car, and an 88 Fifth Avenue, and a couple other more modern ones that I really don't think I plan on doing anything with. I should have a C-body night where I've got the Imperial that's disassembled, the 300 and the 74 back here. I actually had, I was trying to do that before it got cold. I was going to do a live from outside and have the cars all parked in the grass out next to the shop and just kind of sit there in this seat, but with the C-bodies behind me. I got the C bodies, the B bodies, I got an M body, and a dad body. That's pretty much all I got. Hand clap, I don't have any other way to identify you, but I like that. The first build, the first project was this 1969 Dodge Charger back in 1997, 98 or something like that. It was a car that my dad and I got while we were out. I used to go with him when he was doing mill trips buying lumber for a wood company. And we found that in the late 90s, and that was the first car that I took the engine apart and rebuilt for the most part. But it didn't look like this at the time. It had a black vinyl top, it had black hood scoops, it had a racing stripe on it. I've got pictures of it, but that was the first introduction to me having an old car. Before that, it would have been a 1972 Plymouth Duster. Matter of fact, the Plymouth Duster was my parents' first car, my dad's second car, but it was the car they drove from Michigan. It was like Michigan, Georgia, California, Michigan, Tennessee, in a 1972 Plymouth Duster Slant 6. Sparky, the most recent project is this 69 Plymouth Roadrunner. It's got a whole fun story behind it, but I was gonna buy that. Actually, I was gonna borrow that, fix it, list it, make videos about it, get it running and sell it, and use the money from my automotive nonprofit, which is AuxAuto. But it turns out that the lady that owned it, after her father passed away, didn't want to. She just wanted to sell it. So I bought it, but I was still going to just fix it, list it, make videos and sell it. But it turns out that people like that car quite a bit, and it garnered a lot of YouTube views. So I decided to hang on to it, and now I love the thing. Now I don't want to get rid of it, and I use it just to kind of promote my automotive nonprofit, which is AuxAuto, which provides financial mechanical assistance to people that depend on the transportation for a living. I basically pay the shop bills for people that can't afford to make their vehicle safe or operational. And I come in here and I showcase some of the projects that I have, and I just try to get people to follow along and subscribe, and hopefully one day all of the social media stuff will turn into a way to pay for the AuxAuto assists. I've done 15 of them so far to the tune of about $15,000, and I hope to get back on track early 26 because I basically ran out of money for this year. Best car in the world, 69 Charger generally. Sparky, yeah, I can start them up here. I'll go live for a little bit. I come on live because I feel like it's a good opportunity to hang out with people. I'll come on here for a little while, and then towards the end of it, but I don't know what time that's going to be because I'm not doing anything else tonight. Saturday night, I got no friends. I got to shop. I don't need friends. And we'll go look at some of the cars a little bit more in depth and maybe start a few of them. I'm not sure if the Roadrunner will start. I left it plugged up. We'll see. Yeah, Gina, my friends right here is Bill, Old Blue, the General, and Carol. Judas Priest, a 74 Mustang with a 496 in it. Good luck to those tires, Guppy. Appreciate it, Eddie. First one to notice the hat. Yeah, Sparky, that's Carol over there in the background. It's a 68 300. No time like the present, Guppy. That's a big old engine. What'd you say, 496? I mean, that obviously is not a, was that a built engine that just sat for a while? '70 Buick GS. Nice. I'd like to see the progress on that one. I don't think that engine ever came factory. That's not a thing. But I mean, if it was built and put in there, that's a jewel right there. I'm back. I had to check the specs on the inline for the rotary girder. Ashton, that is in fact the 1969 Dodge Charger. Very good eye. I can appreciate that. What up, Noah? Thanks for joining. Alan, Danny, Kent. Who are you? Wait a minute. I'm Jason. Nice to meet you. I got an automotive nonprofit called AuxAuto that I'm promoting. And I hang out here in my shop and I showcase some of the projects that I have that I own or that I'm working on. Try to get people to follow along. Ain't nobody gonna stop and listen to me, so I wear this cool jacket my daughter got me and I broadcast live from AuxAuto's shop. With some of the things that I'm working on. Hopefully it gets you to follow along and hang out for a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Noah, the Charger has a 1973 RV 440 in it. Originally it was a 383 and it's sitting right over here on an engine stand completely disassembled. Because I'm trying to figure out why it has no oil pressure, and I found that out. And I'm in the process of putting it back together. But right now it's got one of those detuned early 70s big blocks. Believe it or not, unless I haven't started the cars today, but if they did, aside from this Corvette over here, which hasn't run, aside from pouring gas down the carburetor, everything does run, which is unprecedented for me out here. Every now and again, it happens. Thanks, Sparky. Thanks for sharing it live. All I need now is a sweaty bear. Dallas Jack, I am in Tennessee, Middle Tennessee. Home of country music, corn, and horsepower. Gina, I got a sweaty teddy. Why is the teddy sweaty? I don't know. Maybe he's ready for Betty. Stacy, you're in Fable. You ever call it Vietnam? That's right, even though the generally is, technically it's all Georgia. Durham, North Carolina, born in Lewisburg. Dang, that's the home of Vice Grip Garage down there. If you happen to run into him, maybe, I don't know, maybe mention me. If he ever does another fundraiser, AuxAuto is a 501c3 in the state of Tennessee. You can look it up on irs.gov because it is legit. It does exist. It's a business entity that I started in 2021. Yeah, dude, he was one of the reasons I got back into working on cars. I spent a good chunk of my adulthood raising my kid, which was the best thing that I could ever have done in the history of this galaxy, of the world, of anywhere. But in 2021, I got back into working on cars. And I think it was 21 when I got the shop. But he was instrumental in that. Vice Grip, Whistle and Diesel, Junker Up, Scott Speed Shop, and Uncle Tony's Garage. Those were all the ones that I give credit to for that. The garage code, you want the number to get in? Dallas, North Carolina. Dallas, you want the door code? I'm not in Durham. That's a little far. The man in black. I saw you sneaking in here. Dallas, no, I'm in Middle Tennessee. It's been a couple of days, man. I think Thursday night, wasn't it? Was I here on Thanksgiving? I know I wasn't yesterday. Was it Wednesday? Winds, it's got a 383 in it. I don't think they offered the 440 until really late 69, which would have been a GTX. Was it really Wednesday? Oh yeah, because Thursday was Thanksgiving and I was out by 7. What's up, Derek from Maine? Haven't been there since I was a kid. Cleveland, Ohio, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The only place I've ever touched John Bonham's drum set from Led Zeppelin. That was actually one of the crowning moments of my life. Touching an actual drum set that John Bonham played from Led Zeppelin. No, the Corvette's got a 350 in it. But it doesn't run. It runs if you feed the carburetor. Isn't that all that's in Cleveland is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? The Man in Black, you probably played Hots Off to Nowhere. I've got sort of a music side to me, but Led Zeppelin is one of the motivating factors behind that whole lifestyle. Smokey Joe should hang around for a little bit. You too, Mike. Mo Whips. Tell me about Tom's Refurb. Do I need to subscribe to them or him? What's up, Qatar? Matter of fact, let's just take a little screenshot of that. Qatar. No, I'm in Tennessee. It didn't snow here. It was sleeting when I got out here. I'll be back. Get out of here. Come back over here. James, I will here in a little bit. Usually what I do is I go live for a little bit, and then at the end of it, I'll go take a tour of the shop and some of the cars that I got, projects that I have in here. I don't know if you've heard of Dead Dodge Garage, but He's another one of those guys that when I was watching his live one time, and he's got like a drum set in the background, plays in a band, and I was like, okay, I like this guy already. But he also knows a lot of stuff. Super, super knowledgeable dude. No, I don't know. Actually, I don't know that offhand, but I do know it because I looked it up for somebody. The parts truck that I got for this 79 Ford is the exact same truck, and they were asking about the front diff, and I got pictures of them, but I don't know what they are offhand. It's not the one that everybody wants. It's not the equivalent of a Dana on a Mopar. But whoever that was on a live one time, and the parts truck that I got for this has the front axle, and I was like, listen, I'll get it to you for pretty cheap. I mean, that's like the whole existence of what I do here at AuxAuto is provide people things to make them successful. Typically, it's to get them to where they need to be, whether it be medical appointments, to work, to school, or whatever, fixing their daily drivers and paying their shop bills for people that can't afford to make them safe or operational. But if I've got something that somebody can use to finish a project, then I'll be more than happy to figure out a way to get it to them. Mo Whips. Heck yeah, I don't really restore cars. I work on my projects. The Roadrunner's mine, the Charger's mine. I've got a 300 back there that's mine. I'm working on this truck for somebody else, but basically what I do is I come on here and showcase some of my stuff, and then I hope to garner enough attention in order to pay for other people's shop bills who depend on their dailies. What's up, Sheila in Kentucky? It's going great. How's it going up there in Kentucky? We're at in Kentucky, actually. I've got some roots up there. Basically what I do is I come on here with this cool hat and this cool jacket and some cool cars, and I just try to get you to subscribe, and then I take a 180 on you. And I'm like, actually, I'm a nonprofit, and I provide things for other people, and I get your attention so I can help other people become successful. Henry County. Henry County. Henry County, Kentucky. Okay, you're north of Louisville. Yeah, okay. I've got some roots in Hickman. It was the H that threw me off. No, that Charger, it goes back to the late 90s. That's a me and dad project thing that we located when I used to ride around with my dad while he was buying lumber for a sawmill. But it was a surprise for one. It was something that they pulled off in respect to other things that they couldn't pull off, and then at one point I thought the car was stolen, but it was getting redone, and I've since put a new engine in there. It's got a lot of history with me. No, it's not an original car. Originally it was a B5 blue white hat special with a black vinyl top on it. Came out of Bowling Green, Kentucky, and it was there until we bought it in the late 90s. Joe, that is a Roadrunner. It's a 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner, as a matter of fact. It's a good eye, just seeing the front end and not thinking it was a satellite. Well, Sheila, I think it's time to get that thing running. 42 truck, classic. Get that thing running now, and it'll be around for the next 40 years. What's wrong with it, Sheila? Oh, so also, let me tell you this. This truck that I got here, this 79 Ford, this is like a family heirloom for the family that owns it. I don't own this truck. I'm working on it. I'm getting it running for a family. It's got a cool story behind it, which is kind of why I took the project on, because I don't have a restoration shop. I don't really even work on cars for other people. But the thing that I do with AuxAuto is I provide something automotively for somebody else. Typically, it's to try to get people on the road that can't afford it. So people that go to work, go to school. Hold on, I gotta connect the puzzle pieces. Pick their kids up. I want to make them not have to worry about the $1,200 shop bill that they have. But occasionally, I'll take on projects like this 79 Ford that's a family heirloom for the family that owns it, and it caught fire 5 or 6 years ago. And I want to get it running again so the family can experience the joy of all the elders in the family. But that's kind of what that is, Sheila, with your 42. What's wrong with it? Dang, since 11? That's like 14 years ago. Sheila, where are you out of? That would be a cool project for AuxAuto Live. That's sort of the story with this Ford, except the lady that owns it, her father's still around. Oh yeah, you told me that. Henry County. Joe, it's got a 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner 383 in it. Sheila, can you message me outside of here? Austin, I got a bunch of videos on the Charger. I got videos on the Charger going back to 1997. Back when we were trying to replicate a show called My Classic Car with Dennis Gage and his big mustache. What's up, A91? Sheila, this truck right here is a filler tube and some time away from getting running again and delivering it back to the people that own it. Nate Dogg, like the rapper. Do you spot an old Ford? I believe you do. Also, Sheila, if you're okay with the truck sitting in my shop for like 9 months because I keep procrastinating and doing other things. Blue-Eyed Gamer, I either missed that or I did it in another live. A91, the green car, is his 69 Plymouth Roadrunner. At the time, it was a Chrysler product. I think it still has the Chrysler badge on the driver's side door. Joe, it's still a bad car. It's a bad mamma jamma. Oh yeah, okay, Blue-Eyed. I feel like I remember that because I think I conned you in to subscribing to AuxAuto by touching one of the cars and proving it was real, if I remember. Sheila, I'm kind of interested in that. Like honestly, the other thing, this is one the person that owns this truck. She's also on TikTok as Trucker. But I felt bad because I had the truck at the shop for so long. Because I do, I don't intentionally procrastinate, but other things come up and I have other responsibilities. And it's been here since March, and I felt kind of bad about that. And I was trying to get it back to them. And she's like, it would be sitting in my house if you didn't pick it up. So take your time with it, fix it, do what you got to do. which made me feel better about it. But if I took that truck on and it sat here for 6 months, 9 months, while I got time to work on it, I mean, it's been sitting since 2011, right? That would be pretty crazy, though. I'm kind of interested in that. C3 with the 427. Noah, did you see this one? I got learnt about Corvettes when I adopted that one. No, that's got a 350 in it. Don, I remember you. You've been in here before, I believe. Was it Sheila? I don't want to get too sentimental, but this car, this 1969 Roadrunner, I bought that from a lady who I knew, but her dad owned it, and he passed away about a year prior to me acquiring it, and it had been in their family since 1968. He bought it September 24th of 1968. I know that because all the documentation is with it. And she got in touch with me because, like I said, I know her, and she wasn't sure what to do with this car, and somebody had offered to buy it for a really cheap amount. And I was really disappointed because whoever that was, it was kind of disrespectful. It was such a cheap amount. But short version is I bought it from her, and we actually had a pretty long conversation about having a conversation because she knows that I've got a daughter. If something happens to me, what's going to happen with all these cars and projects that I have, which I haven't really talked about. But the problem that she had was that this car has been in her life, her whole life. And when her dad passed away, she's having to go through all of his things. And she's like, I don't know what to do with this car. I feel guilty about selling it. It's been in my life forever. My dad loved it. He bought it new. Do I sell it? Is that disrespectful? Do I get... I mean, I don't know what to do. She's like, have the conversation with your kid about what's going to happen so it's not so hard. It's weird because when you sell a car and you are emotionally distraught because of it, it's a real thing. And I feel like that's kind of one of those things where you haven't touched it since 2011. You're emotionally attached to it. You don't know what to do with it. Hang on to it. I don't know. Maybe we can get it running. I think one of the saving graces with this Roadrunner is that she sold it to me, and I use it to promote my automotive nonprofit AuxAuto. So she sees it a lot, and it goes to car shows. Matter of fact, there's a video that I made where I took this car to a car show. My daughter and I went to it. We set the car up. We got there really early, and we're just kind of sitting around. I think this is one of my pinned videos. But this dude started checking the car out. And he's looking at it like kind of obnoxiously. So I go up and I'm like, hey, what's going on? He goes, is this a local car? And I said, yes, it sure is. He goes, yeah, I know this car. This was my brother's car. I drove it down here from Detroit in 1970. And it was the original owner's brother at the car show that recognized that car, which is pretty wild. I missed a few things, and I apologize. Get bent. It's hot as crap right now because I've had the heater on for about 2 hours. But I know that the kerosene's going to run out. So at some point it's going to start getting cold in here. So I'm trying to get it as hot as possible. Right now it's probably like 68 degrees. Just blast it, get bent, blast it, and then my only issue is I've got to keep one of those bay doors open about 6 feet because I've got the wireless booster underneath it in order to get internet in the shop because it's like a giant Faraday cage. I forgot about YouTube over here. How you doing if you're on YouTube? Don, I drive that as much as I can. I've got a 440 from a 1973 RV in the Charger. It's not the original engine. The original engine's on an engine stand, completely disassembled. But I put that in there just so I can put miles on it and cruise. And I really enjoy doing that. Plus, those things are workhorses. Just drive. Just drive. I do enjoy driving the things that I have, most notably the B-bodies, the Roadrunner and the Charger. The 68 300's got some issues, and I actually took it on a... I took this 68 300 to a car show this past summer, and I drove it about an hour to the car show just to realize that it shut down by the time I got there. So I drove it an hour back. A 2-hour road trip in the 68. And it runs great. It ran great, but when I took the 69 Roadrunner on a trip this last June, I took a lot of the parts off of the 68 as backup for this car, and then when I put them back on, I took the carburetor off of it, and I haven't got it quite tuned right. But I also have some really old tires on the 300, and I've been burning the crap out of them. Whitehorse, the Charger has decals. Actually, they're not decals, they're actually painted on there. Those aren't stickers, those aren't magnets, those aren't decals, they're painted on there, but it's painted similar to the first 5 episodes of the show. Evan, yeah, it's running. It's a runner. Matter of fact, I've got a video where I did a little burnout in the 68, and I filled the shop up with tire smoke. Gina saw it live. Noah, thanks for hanging out. Just being here helps me promote my automotive nonprofit that helps other people become successful when the only thing standing in their way is their transportation of getting them to the things that make them successful. So I appreciate it. Sleep well. And I also can appreciate a Monte Carlo. Especially whatever year had those giant fenders. Gina, take care. I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out. Gina's the OG, one of the first ever in one of my lives. Been here ever since. I need to get you a plaque or something. It's hanging on Wyoming. Evan, I missed Thanksgiving. Was good. I spent it by myself and I went to bed at 7:30. It's great. Couldn't ask for anything better. Jed, 100%. 69 Roadrunner 323 4-speed. That is exactly what that one is. Chase, bring me some duck jerky. Wyoming, that sounds horrible, and I'm sorry. I know last time you were in here, you had a lot of stuff going on. Jed, you used to have one just like that? Jackson, I do not own a Supra. No Supras. That's what I like about the Roadrunner when I go to car shows. This thing is still original. It's got rusted quarter panels. It's got its original engine. It's got its original ripped up interior. But when I go to car shows, I would rather talk to 3 people at a car show about their connections with Roadrunners than talk to 150 people about a 2024 Corvette that I just bought. A lot of people that are familiar with Roadrunners have some sort of connection with it. They had one, their family had one, their friend had one, or they have some experience in one, and I like that kind of stuff. I've got a lot of paperwork on that Roadrunner. Jackson, I don't dislike anything except for cambered cars and squatted trucks. And there's a piece of me that doesn't dislike those just because people work on them, but everything else I don't really dislike anything. I like lawnmowers, for crying out loud. Get ready. I don't do go-karts, but I like go-kart. I like them better than cambered cars. Joe, I race for fun. I raced in a series called Hoopty Cross back a couple of years ago, but not professionally. Basically what I do is I got this automotive nonprofit called AuxAuto, and I fix other people's cars that can't afford to make them safer operational, and I come on here and promote it and talk about the projects that I have, talk about stories, talk about life. We talk about real stuff in here sometimes. Jackson, that was 01 for sure. It's not bad, Wyoming. I got the, you can probably hear the what do you call those heaters? The big tube heaters? Hey, XJ, I look like a moron without my glasses. I don't even really wear glasses. Favorite car, 69 Charger. Any version. 68 Charger, close second. Originally, I would wear glasses because I would sit a little bit farther back. I think that was why everybody thought I was using a green screen. But since I've got the heater going, I was trying to get closer to the phone. I got TikTok on one device and I got YouTube on another one. So I was trying to get closer and I could read the words. The Ozman cometh. Hold on, we got to come back to this. What did you do for TNN? I'm going to say audio. Jackson, I'm going to say a 69 Charger. Osman, so did you play like around? So you worked for TNN, but you played at Opryland? Wyoming. I got a Twitter. I've got Instagram, but I just don't have a lot of people on there. I probably saw you play there, Osman, when I was a kid. I actually listened to the whole Opry, the Grand Ole Opry 100 celebration yesterday. I was talking about that earlier. I was live while I was making dinner. I was also talking about us. My friends and I used to sneak in behind backstage at the Grand Ole Opry. At when they had it over, well, they still have it there, but at Opryland, Opry Mills. Appreciate it, Michael. Ozman on here used to work for TNN, which is pretty cool. I think it was TNN, and then it was the National Network, and then it was Scripps, and then it was Gaylord or something like that. Yeah, Wyoming. Like, yes, yeah, that's right, Michael. Spike. But it was TNN was a network that brought the Dukes back in like the late '90s, and I hadn't seen it since I was a kid in 85 or 86. Jackson, I don't even have an opinion on those because I don't know anything about them. Osman, so here's the thing. Back in the day, and I don't think you can do it now, but when we used to sneak into the Grand Ole Opry, we would sneak in through the production area. You could either go to the place where everybody would come out and have a cigarette. We'd hang out there, and as an artist would come out to have a cigarette, we would go in. Or if nobody was coming out, we'd have to go around to the production area, and we'd go through where all of the monitors and stuff were. We just walk through and be like, we're just checking the specs on the inline for the rotary girder, and that led into the backstage where we would hang out. It was easy back then. It's not now. I don't recommend it because everything got redone when it flooded in 2010. Because this was like early 2000s. But this was we'd make it backstage and we'd hang out with like Porter Wagner, Little Jimmy Dickens, Sammy Kershaw, John Anderson. All these country folks. It's the first time I saw Diamond Rio live, and I was telling these stories earlier, but there was also one instance where there was a really new band, and I don't even think the song was on the radio. It wasn't popular, but it was on the radio. But there was a bunch of these kids that were playing, and they had like the earrings and the frosted tip hair, and they played their first time they were at the Opry, and they played this song called "Praying for Daylight." which was Rascal Flats. But it was all back in the day. We also snuck into the CMAs, and then we snuck into the Ryman, but it was closed at the time. Ian, way too much. Oh man. Oh, I gotta look her up. Michelle Wright. I think one of my hold on. Dude, I think one of the days we snuck in. Yeah, Shelley Wright. Yeah, okay. One of the reasons we snuck into the Opry was because Shelley was playing that night. And then he got to talk to her. Yeah, Shelley Wright. I'm looking her up over here. Oh yeah, yep, that's the one. Aviator, I don't own that truck. I'm working on it for somebody else, trying to get it running for them. Yeah, Shelley Wright, man. And he ended up getting to talk to her. Yeah. That's funny. Ozman, also, just so you know, I feel like we got kind of similar paths because I used to play drums for a living in and around Nashville and downtown, did that whole thing for a long time. But I don't think I was in any music videos, but I was in Pure Country 2 as an extra. I got some screen time. And I was in a couple of independent movies, but there was back when we're all trying to make it, you like take those things, the extra gigs and the audio things. I remember I made like $300 on Taylor Swift doing production tech stuff. The good old days. Ate way too much. I consider myself a successfully failed musician. Matter of fact, this whole thing that I'm doing here, AuxAuto, is an automotive nonprofit that provides financial mechanical assistance to people that depend on their transportation for a living. I basically pay the shop bills for people that can't afford to make their vehicles safe or operational. I come on here and I try to promote it and showcase some of the vehicles that I have just to get people to subscribe and follow along, and hopefully one day all the subscriptions and follows turn into a way to pay for it. But my other YouTube channels and all my other stuff is all music stuff, where I talk about some of the things that I tried to do. I consider myself successfully failed because when I was like 21, 22 years old, I used to get a lot of bar gigs, and I used to play a lot of downtown gigs because the drummers that I was replacing were just washed out. They're cokeheads and they're alcoholics, and so I'd take their spot. But I never made I made a living at it, but I didn't make a living at it to where I could never have to work again. So my other YouTube channels are about that stuff. Jackson, I do like Fast and the Furious. I also realize how corny it is, but I like it because there are real stunt drivers that perform stunts that make a living of us buying tickets to those movies. Lone Star Lifter, heck yeah. Successfully failed. You have to add that in there because the failed ones are the ones that just can't grasp the fact and they become addicts and lose their mind. It's unfortunate, but it happens. What's up, the ghost? Welcome back. But the whole music thing, I don't even know if you're still in here, Ozman, but that was it. From when I graduated high school until when it was time for me to raise my kid in 2011 or 12, that's it. That was all I did. Everything I did, it was all studio sessions. It was playing live. Everything I read, everything I studied, everything. It was all just to promote. You go downtown, drop business cards and tip jars, and try to sit in. And I tried out for the show Nashville. I tried out for Blue Band Group. Like, I did all this stuff. Sorry, yeah, Jackson, I did know that because I've seen some outtakes of them messing up their stunts. I think I've played on hundreds and hundreds of demos that nobody will ever hear. I got to record at Sony. Bunch of Music Row studios, bunch of crap hole studios. But man, it was an experience. I'll show the hoodie. What's the hoodie? We'll be right back though. My most sincere apologies. I had to check the specs on the inline for the rotary girder. I got on a tangent about music stuff in my old life. So, Ozman, if you're still here, message me so I can message you back. The hoodie, this one? You want to see this one? Yeah. I'm a proud dad of a freaking awesome daughter. Yes, she bought me this shirt. My daughter made me this. The Ghost, I can, but I missed a few. I just had to go check the specs on the inline for the rotary girder. Jackson, I don't even know what the R34 is, unless you're talking about like some sort of refrigerant coolant that they used to use in the old cars. Almost Famous. It sort of is. It has its issues. It's getting older. Why? I mean, you got a Steinway? Jackson, I don't have any opinions on the Nissan. So here's the thing. I'm like I like these kind of cars. I don't dislike anything more modern. I just don't know enough about them. But I want, like, if I was to pick my favorite like pre, it would be a Nissan ZX. Osman, there you are. You're still here. That's good. That's the reason that I consider myself a successfully failed musician. Because for the longest time, after I graduated high school, that's what I focused on forever. And I applied every ounce of energy or education or knowledge, degrees into playing music. And it didn't happen to the point where I thought I would be successful. Looking back on it, all of the things that I was able to do and the opportunities that it provided for me, I feel like now, as an old person in my early to mid 40s, I feel like it was a success. And that's kind of what I promoted on my other channels. Oh man, this is gonna get me banned. I wish I could play real music in the background. Almost famous. That's true. It's never too late. I mean, it may be back when I was getting out of playing music. Matter of fact, before I got out of music, I was endorsed by a drum company, a guy that builds drums locally here in Nashville, Tennessee. He sold me a set for really cheap, and he's like, I want you to play out and promote my drum company, which is cool. I mean, it's an endorsement. It's not Pearl drums, it's not DW, but still, it's an endorsement. And he used to build drums for a really prominent drum company in Nashville anyway. But then soon after that, I realized that I had other responsibilities. McGavick High School, like right there next to the Opry. Almost famous, heck yeah. I used to play, Suzanne, I'm doing fantastic. This is my automotive nonprofit channel, but now we're talking about music stuff. I mean, I used to play every little dive bar, biker bar, crap hole, nice studios, crappy studios, downtown stuff that I could. Almost got DW drums. I got Pearl drums. I've got Roland electric drums. I've got Billy Baker drums. Porter Wagner was one of the dudes that I met when we snuck into the Opry back in the day. Probably did. Well, Ozman, that was like one of the entry points was the everybody go out to smoke section, and we would just sneak back in. Like we would go there with a pack of cigarettes, even though none of us smoked, and sit where everybody goes out to smoke and light a cigarette. And then when somebody would come out, we'd put it out and go in. That was one way in. Can't do that anymore. It's changed. And then the other one was through the production trailer. Camp, I've heard Casey Kane, but I don't know. I think this is just a reproduction promo NASCAR jacket. Oh, and Printer's Alley. That was another one. One of my last house gigs was on Printer's Alley. Osman, yeah, heck, okay. When I was listening to the Opry 100 celebration, I was having all these memories and thoughts of back in the music business days. That was actually That was actually my undergrad, was music business, yes. What's up, Dale? And now I try to fix cars for people that can't afford to fix them themselves. Osman, there are some pictures that exist that I know that I've seen of on Pruners Alley in what used to be Alley Cats of Al Capone standing at the bar, the brass top bar of Alley Cats. How hard is it? 6'7" Cummins. You know what? I don't know, but I know generally a head gasket is going to take some time. But I think you can do it. I know you can. Osman, you remember Boots Reverb? What's up, SUC? Boots Reverb was on Printers Alley in the back. It was, oh God, who was the guy that did Yakety Sax? It was a blues bar. It was like a 3-level blues bar. Dayton. That is a 1969 Roadrunner. Sorry, I got a little distracted. We're talking about music stuff. That was my old life. From 1999 until about 2011, I played music for a living. I consider myself a successfully failed musician, but that's a whole different YouTube channel. Here is AuxAuto, automotive nonprofit that provides financial mechanical assistance to people that depend on their transportation for a living. I basically pay the shop bills for people that can't afford to make the vehicle safe or operational. And I come on here and try to promote it, showcase some of the projects that I have and the things that I'm working on, hopefully to get you to follow along and subscribe. And one day all those subscriptions will turn into a way to pay for these AuxAuto assists. I've done 15 of them so far to the tune of about 15,000 bucks. So they average out to about 1,000 a piece. Sometimes they're more, sometimes they're less. But I will tell you this, I have made $100 in the last 4 months on TikTok. And I feel like if I keep this momentum up, in the summer of 2026, I will be able to perform the first AuxAuto assist, paying the shop bill of somebody that can't afford to make their vehicle safe or operational with money solely made from social media. And it's going to be a big thing for me. And I'm excited about it. And I probably missed a lot while I was doing that spiel. Nope, didn't. We get talking about music stuff, and then I go off on these tangents and then reminisce. SUC, I appreciate it. That's the only way to be. You know what I'm saying? Even when things are the absolute worst, you got to look at it, the outcomes as the absolute best. In the worst situations that you're ever in, the worst thing that you could ever do, the worst positions that you're ever put in, you're going to learn something from it. And if you could retrain your brain to figure out what it is you're supposed to learn, rather than why am I in this situation, then you're going to come out more successful than you ever thought possible. Why am I going through something so bad? Why is this happening to me? What can I do to overcome it? We do occasionally talk about real things on here, even though AuxAuto is an automotive nonprofit, and I try to make people successful when the only thing holding them back is their transportation to get them to the thing that makes them successful. What's up, Dozier? And I come in here and I showcase some of the things that I have and the things that I'm working on, and hopefully getting people to follow along, subscribe. Appreciate it, Patty. Patty Littlefield, where are you from? Just curious. Osman, are you still in here? South Dakota. Tokyo Drift, that is, in fact, the Dukes of Hazzard 1969 Dodge Charger. It is almost 10 o'clock. Tokyo, that car was $6,000 back in 1998. Oh, heck yeah, Patty. That's crazy because I've got Mopars and I've got this Ford. Although the Ford I do not own. I'm working on that for somebody else. Olds 442, that is a Charger. 442 being a 400 4-barrel dual exhaust, if I'm not mistaken. So, what are you doing up so early? As you see. Where are you at? Cape Town? Hey, generally just hanging out back there. Appreciate it, Jonathan. Hey, matter of fact, Jonathan, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm sitting in my shop with the projects that I have back there, just trying to promote it, get people to hang out for a minute, maybe follow along and subscribe, and hopefully promote my automotive nonprofit, which is AuxAuto. Basically, I pay the shop bills for people that can't afford to make the vehicle safer operational. And I come in here and just try to get people to follow along, subscribe, and hopefully one day all those subscriptions and follows turn into a way to pay for these. Riding hours out in Oklahoma. Tokyo's got a Duramax. You drifting that thing? 69 Pontiac Firebird. I want one. John, that's got a 351 modified in it. Caught fire about 5 or 6 years ago. Ran into the owner of it. Was like, why has the truck been sitting here for so long? And they're like, well, this happened to it. Trying to get somebody to work on it. I was like, I might know a little non-profit company that might be able to do that and get some parts for tax-free. Kind of worked out. It's been here a minute. Still working on it. It's a long process. Keith, I got a couple, but also you got to understand that I've been infatuated with this stuff since I was like a teenager, and now I'm in my early 40s. In my early 40s, I mean mid 40s. I actually wrote a journal entry or a paper in junior high about having a shop one day. And, you know, I would have been like 12 or 13 years old. And it didn't happen until I was, it didn't happen until 2021. You're a lot farther along in the process than everybody else there, Keith. And that's good. Well, that's a new car, but still, that's still good. The thing about new cars versus old cars, obviously older cars retain value, newer cars depreciate. Keith, I'm in Middle Tennessee. I guess if you're looking at them as like a return on your investment or any kind of investment. Cry, baby. I remember you. Aiden, I've had that for a long time. If you want to talk about returning your investment, that car was bought at $6,000. And if you know anything about Chargers, that's a pretty good return on your investment. I don't know, Crybaby. Anything's possible. Tokyo, no, that car's a runner. It's a driver. I drive that to events. I drive that to things to promote my automotive nonprofit. Matter of fact, a couple weeks ago, I drove it to a little car show, a local car show, and to promote my automotive nonprofit, AuxAuto. It's a 501c3 in the state of Tennessee. Provides financial mechanical assistance to people that depend on transportation for a living. I basically pay the shop bills for people that can't afford to make the vehicle safer operational. Oh, dude, redneck guy, I would love to prank call, but I don't think I can because I don't have a phone that'll do it while I'm doing this. No, Crybaby, I didn't go to SEMA. I'm not popular enough for SEMA. I don't build SEMA cars. I don't work on SEMA cars. I work on like Dreama cars. That if there was a Dreama convention, that's what I would go to. Tokyo, this seat's from a 1969 Chrysler Newport. I bought that car as a parts car for a 69 Imperial that I'm working on. And I took the seat out and put it on the rollers so I could roll around the shop and hang out. Redneck guy, I do have an Instagram. It should be AuxAuto or it's AuxAuto01. I think even if you Googled or Instagram, it's either AuxAuto or AuxAuto01. I think the only one that's different is Facebook. It's Auxilium Auto of Tennessee. Tokyo, I'm replacing the fuel tank in there, and I thought it would be easier to lift the bed off the truck to get to the fuel tank and replace it. Dang, Aiden, that's a good one. 95 Chevy or a Mustang? Which one would you choose? I know a lot of early 90s Chevys that have lasted for 300,000 or 400,000 miles, so I'd probably have to go with that one. Crybaby, I hope so. I hope to expand things. Honestly, I think it would be really cool to make a living doing things to try to promote others' success. It's really hard to do, and I get it. But that would, to be able to just tour around to automotive events and car shows, museums, that would be a dream job. Spoke Wheel's got a Winston Cup coat. I think, I don't want to say your first name, Redneck, if you're not comfortable with it, but I think I just saw your ad on here. Your Instagram follow or whatever. Was it Wayne? Patty, I love the Dakotas. I think North Dakota is the only state, one of two of the only states in the country I've not visited. Is there a Wamsutter in South Dakota or a Wamsutter in North Dakota? Wamsutter. Japan Jam. Oh, okay, JDM. Oh man, I love the square bodies. My God, I love them. I love them. My first vehicle that I had was a 1990 Suburban. It's not a square body, I get it, but it's the same. Whamsutter's in Wyoming. Well, I've been through Whamsutter. I woke up there. Once upon a time, I was involved in this movie project that turned into a nonprofit company where we took this kid who had a degenerative muscle disease across the country to get his wheelchair customized on the show Pimp My Ride that was popular at the time. And I remember one time I woke up randomly in Whamsutter, and I was like, I'm in Whamsutter, out in the middle of absolute nowhere. And it turned into more of an inside joke, but one of the funniest times of that whole trip. Stuff I'm doing. That's how I'm doing. Maui, what's up? Maui, the only generally in Hawaii that I know of. Patty, my guess is the only two you haven't seen is Alaska and Hawaii. Do I know of a stock car that can put out flames? No. But I'm interested. What is it? I don't have a 70 Challenger, but I've got a 69 Charger, which I should still be cool. It's going good, Maui. Just hanging out. I got the heater going, which you can probably hear in the background because it's cold. Hanging out for a few hours. It's 10 o'clock Central Time, which is Nashville time, which is where I'm closest to. I think in maybe like 30 minutes, maybe we'll go do a tour of some of the cars, start one up. I don't know, 30 minutes, does that sound good? Tokyo, where's that for sale at? You can make a slant 6-foot out. Oh, you mean like out of the tailpipe? Zoom? No, I don't even know what those numbers are. I can't even read those. I'm dyslexic, so 7.6. It's on Marketplace right now? That's wild. Wild. That's wild. How much is it listed for? I want that. Why wouldn't Dale Jr. buy that? I don't know. I don't feel like that's really for sale. I would probably look into that a little bit more. Yeah, I think so. I agree, Patty. I don't think. Oh, it's a clone. That would make more sense. I don't think that would be on Facebook. Plus, I think that thing would probably sell for like $400,000. Oh, also Tokyo. So somebody built a car as a clone similar to the one at the time that Dale had his crash. That makes sense. Yes, buy it. And then donate it to AuxAuto, the automotive nonprofit, and get a tax write-off. Butters, no. Don't go open headers because it sounds like crap. At the very least, the only thing that you need to do on any car, go from headers to glass packs and then a ride out in front of the rear wheels. Straight pipes sound bad. All you need is glass packs. X-pipe. right out in front of the rear wheels. Vincent, you do see it generally in the background. AuxAuto is an automotive nonprofit that provides financial mechanical assistance to people that depend on the transportation for a living. I basically pay the shop bills for people that can't afford to make their vehicle safe or operational. And I come on TikTok and YouTube trying to promote my automotive nonprofit just to get people to follow along. And hopefully one day all these follows and subscriptions and likes and comments turn into a way to pay for these AuxAuto assists. I've done 15 of them so far to the tune of about 15,000 bucks, so they come out to $1,000 a piece. Sometimes they're 300, 400 bucks a piece. Sometimes they're $2,500. But hopefully one day, all of this stuff turns into a way to pay for it. I have made $100, actually $101.32 on TikTok Live. If I keep this up, I feel like this summer I may be able to pay for the first AuxAuto Assist solely from income from social media, and that's going to be a big thing for me, and I'm pretty excited about it. But that's what I'm doing here. I come on TikTok and YouTube to showcase some of the things that I'm working on, the cars that I have, my projects, and the things that I do out here in Auxland, the automotive complex that houses AuxAuto, the automotive nonprofit. And that's what I'm doing here. And I just try to get you to follow along and subscribe, because that's what I want. And I need people, because I want to make people successful, when the only thing that's holding them back from being successful is getting them to the thing that's going to make them successful, like their job, their medical appointments, to take kids places, or whatever you use a vehicle for. If you don't live in a place like New York or Chicago or San Francisco or LA or any of those other cities that nobody else really wants to live in. That's what I'm doing here. Billy, I will show you that. I will. But here's the thing. If I do it every time somebody asks, I basically stand up and get up every 15 minutes. Here's what I have proposed, because I've been on live for a little bit, but in about 23 minutes, I will get up and I will show the shop some of the other things that I have in here, like the Corvette. There's a 300 over there. Even if you don't want to hang out now, if you come back at 10:30 Central Standard Time, we'll go take a tour of some of this stuff. And if the batteries aren't dead, I'll start one or two of them. But that was another one of the issues I ran into, because early on when I was doing these lives, somebody would come in and be like, hey, go start the Charger. And I'd be like, okay, cool, and I'd go start it. Go start the Chrysler 300, and I'd go start it. And then the starter went out in the 300 because I was starting it like 7 times in the span of about an hour, and that's not really good. So I kind of had to start regulating. I missed a lot of things. Billy, are they all yours? The Charger's mine. The Roadrunner's mine. The Corvette is AuxAuto's. That's my automotive nonprofit. The 300 is mine, but the truck is not mine. I'm getting that running for a family that's had it since it was new, back in 1979, and it burned a few years ago, and I'm just trying to get it back running so the family can take the elders for a ride again one more time. But Billy, yes, we even if you don't want to stick around, being here for the amount of time that you've been here helps me promote my automotive nonprofit. But if you want to come back in like 21 minutes, we'll go do a little walk around. 383 stroker, an LS for your 46 Chevy. I would go with a 383 stroker, 100%. Jelly, it moved to Tennessee from Detroit. Harder to find a mechanic. Where are you at in Tennessee? Apex, I'm not a mechanic. I work on these because they're mine and I like it. I occasionally, and originally, the original concept of AuxAuto was to have cars come out here and I work on them. free for the people that own them, but it's just not really a good allocation of time or resources because I'm so far out in the middle of nowhere. Now I coordinate with shops around where people live to get their vehicles fixed for them that can't afford it. Oh, I know Harrogate, Joliet. Jameson, good first truck in my opinion. It depends. Do you haul stuff? You just want a pickup? You want a bed? You want a Ranger? You need a full size? Do I want a Dukes Hazzard Hot Wheel? Yeah, I do. An 81 Trans Am for a blackout paint. Wait, you want me to paint your 81 Trans Am with blackout paint? Jelly, that's one of the things that I'm discovering on these lives that I'm doing. I'm connecting with these shops that are actual shops, like customer service shops, like that are guaranteed, bonded, insured, and like literal shops where I can coordinate, or they can contact me and be like, hey, I watch your live, I've talked to you a few times, I got this person that's been a customer of mine for like 7 years, they got this thing wrong with their car, they can't afford it. That's one of the things where we would come in to pay for it. We don't just do like custom mods. We don't, paint cars. We don't fix your bumper. We fix things on people's vehicles who depend on them to get through life. Like it's a necessity. It's not just vanity. Matter of fact, when I first started AuxAuto in 2021 and I was doing some promotion stuff, somebody got a hold of me and they're like, hey, I've got a messed up bumper on my Camry. Is that something you can fix? And I was like, unfortunately, no. It's not something I can fix. It's not a necessity. Your car still runs. We're not just handing money out. It's a nonprofit. Like I have to account for things. I have to have a vetting process. Like you literally have to depend on your transportation to get you to the things that make you successful, like your job. So no, we're not painting fenders. We're not doing cosmetic things. We're not doing upgrades. We're not doing anything like that. But if you depend on your vehicle to get you to work and it doesn't run because your alternator's dead, your battery's dead, or whatever the case is, that's the kind of thing that AuxAuto is. Patty, that's 100% what it is. It's literally a way. I mean, everybody, you go take your car to a shop, it's going to cost at least $300 because they're going to do a diagnostics. And it's expensive. People can't afford it. A lot of times your shop bills for a lot of people, especially where I live and that's not in a big city, it's going to cost a week's pay just to figure out what's wrong with it. So AuxAuto is purposed, which is the whole reason of our existence, is to fix those things for people that can't afford it. They can't afford to make their vehicles safe or operational. For people that depend on their transportation just to make it through life, to get to work or medical appointments or to pick up their kids or to get to work. Patty, yeah, I've done AuxAuto assists for $300 and I've done them for $2,500. Like I said earlier, I've done 15 of them to the tune of about $15,000, and they average out to about $1,000 a piece. Sometimes they're more, sometimes they're less. Jonathan, I am the Team U Dale Jr., but Dale Jr. wouldn't be on here promoting his automotive nonprofit just to get people to follow along, subscribe, and hopefully promote this little thing that I'm doing. AuxAuto is a 501c3 in the state of Tennessee. You can look it up. If you you wanted to search it in the IRS, it exists. It's an entity. I got an EIN. It's tax-free. I can buy parts tax-free if I wanted to. When I pay the shop bills for people that can't afford to make the vehicle safe or operational, I can also present a tax-exempt certificate and pay for those tax exempts, which helps reduce the cost. So when people do donate money, they're not donating money to pay taxes on a repair. International Harvester. Team you do. If you want to keep people motivated there, International, I'll be back in a minute, but in about 15 minutes, we'll go walk around to some of these cars, and I'll show the shop a little bit, and that'll kind of be the conclusion of my live promoting my automotive nonprofit. It's done. So sorry I missed you for so long. Appreciate it, Jelliot. What happened to that shop, Patty? You said you had one. There's a couple different elements to AuxAuto also. There, right now, what I'm kind of focusing on is paying the shop bills for people that can't afford to make the vehicle safe or operational. But in the future, there's things that I want to do, like an aux garage where people can rent out space, or hourly or monthly. They can rent out a whole, like almost a large storage unit to keep their projects in if they want to. It's more of a for-profit thing. It's not really part of the nonprofit. It would be under the AuxAuto umbrella, but giving people the opportunity to work on their stuff that live in a city. Oh, that's unfortunate, Patty. We'll go out and check out some of these rides that I got here. About 12 or 13 minutes. The only reason I stick to the time is because about an hour ago, even then, I was telling people that at 10:30 Central Time. So maybe they leave, maybe they come back and they want to see some of the cars. We'll check them out. Tokyo Drift is back. Colleen is a follower. Thank you very much. I feel like come June or so, if I keep this live momentum up, there's going to be a hot chance that I can pay for an AuxAuto Assist fully funded by social media income, which would be awesome. New life. It's right. It's AuxAuto right there. That's what I am. That's my business name. The name, according to the IRS, is Auxilium Auto, but there's so many syllables. Nobody wants to say that many syllables. Auxilium is actually Latin for to help, aid, or assist. But I shortened it and called it AuxAuto. That way we got AuxAuto, the automotive nonprofit that provides financial mechanical assistance to people that depend on their transportation for a living. I got AuxLand, which is the whole complex that I'm at, including the shop. It's a separate business entity. I got Auxie, that's the truck that I use to haul cars around. There's literally right now a 94 Camaro sitting on the trailer of Auxie, which is the truck I use to haul things. Auxie with an A, not to be confused with the highly addictive narcotic painkiller that starts with an O. AuxAuto assists are what I call when I fix somebody's car and pay for the shop bill. I've done 15 of those so far. Is that all of them? AuxAuto, AuxLand, Auxie, AuxAuto Assist, and AuxFam, the people that support AuxAuto, whether it be through TikTok subscriptions, TikTok follows, YouTube follows, YouTube subscriptions or whatever. AuxFam is everybody that likes this thing that I'm doing. Tokyo, I don't even like. You asked if you should buy it, and you just picked it up. Were you gonna pick it up anyway, or is it the replica? I'm so confused. New life. I'm trying to kill it. DB, you got it. That's a '79 Ford 351 modified in it. So Tokyo, that was for sale. Like your neighbor was selling that car. So you're like, hey, should I buy this car? 2 minutes later, you're like, hey, I'm hauling the car back to my house. Oh, good for you, Tokyo. I believe it. DB, matter of fact, one of the things that's halting me on this, DB, I'm trying to find a filler tube for the fuel tank, and AuxAuto doesn't sell it. Where do you get your parts from? So Tokyo, in the span of 10 minutes, you found a car on Facebook. In 5 minutes, you went to go pick it up, you negotiated, bought it, got it home, got it running. In 5 minutes, that's awesome. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Especially for a car that I have not seen on Facebook Marketplace, which is even more impressive because I'm on there every day. Yes, Tokyo, put a whole Dodge car inside that car. That's what you should do. Put a whole car inside that car. Matter of fact, here's the thing. Take a 1972 Plymouth Gold Duster, compact it, put it in the engine of that car, and use that to power the car that Dale Earnhardt died in because you found it on Marketplace. Yes, that's what you should do. International, thanks for waking back up. 6 minutes, we'll go take a tour of the shop and the cars. I don't mean to make it like some big grand thing, but I had told some people earlier, like hours ago, that that's what I was going to do it. So if they come back, they may not. They're probably sleeping. I would love to have a NASCAR. I drove a NASCAR a couple of years ago around Nashville Motor Speedway, and I want one so bad. It'd be a good promotional opportunity, right? Because because I'll do it on TikTok and YouTube. I don't get a lot of people on YouTube very much because I don't have a big following on either one of them. But I've got both devices on one stand, and I just go tour the shop with both of them. DOT. I do have a 2006 Kawasaki Vulcan. I don't have it here in the shop, but that's what I ride. Tokyo. I actually did sponsor a midget car that's racing in the Chili Bowl in January. AuxAuto's got a little thing on the side of it. That car is racing in the Chili Bowl to promote another nonprofit. But I saw fit that we be a sponsor, a little bit of promotion. Good God, Tokyo Drift not only bought Dale Earnhardt's car, but will also be in a race. I bet Tokyo is going to be racing in the Daytona 500. I bet Tokyo is going to be racing in the Daytona 600. That's happening in 2026. I'm impressed. That's crazy. All right, Jay Elliott, appreciate it. I'm gonna go take a tour of the shop in about 4 minutes. International is gonna be racing in the 500. That's good. You should drive an International Harvester in the track. I've got so much stuff to put away in the morning. Flip, flip. Tokyo, that's because we're going to take a little look-see at the shop and everything that we got going on here. Let me shut the door to my my little building that I built. Building. That's where I was sitting. That's the building that I built to cover up the toilet. No, this car was donated to AuxAuto, and we're not still 100% sure whether it's going to be a flat-out donation, a me fix it and sell it, use the money for AuxAuto, or if I'm just going to acquire this car and turn it into like a burnout car promo thing. The only thing I've done with this is I put tires on it, all 4 Hancooks, and I've got it running by putting fuel in the carburetor. But I really like it, and I think I want to hang on to it because it's got some paint issues on it. I don't know if you can see over here. But I think even if I smooth that stuff out, I could wrap it or something. Use it to promote my automotive nonprofit, which is AuxAuto, the automotive nonprofit that provides financial mechanical assistance to people that depend on the transportation for a living. I basically pay the shop bills for people that can't afford to make their vehicles safe or operational. I come on here and I showcase some of the things that I'm working on just to try to get people to follow along and subscribe, and hopefully one day all those subscriptions and follows turn into a way to pay for these AuxAuto assists. I've done 15 so far to the tune of about $15,000, and I hope that one day this social media thing will turn into a way to pay for all those. Tokyo Drift, in the span of about 15 minutes, picked up the car that Dale Earnhardt died in, got it home, got it running, unprecedented. This is the Roadrunner. This is the 79 Ford. It's not mine. You can see where it burned, right? Not so much here or here, but right here. Let me turn off this heater because I should be good for the night. Oh yeah, smells like kerosene. Still raining. Welcome back. All right, Thomas. Yeah, we could absolutely be buddies. Some the stuff I got in the shop are like these old things that I've acquired over the years, including a shop theory book from the Ford Motor Company, which I thought was pretty cool. Old oil cans. And these old displays from a dealership. This one is actually a TV that will play my YouTube videos nonstop. Oh, this is the engine for the 69 Dodge Charger I took out a couple of years ago. And I recently just took it apart to figure out if I could find out what the oil pressure diagnosis is, which I think I found it out. Just parts everywhere. That's the heads over here. Sure is, Noah. You got it right. Oh, and I built this. There's a tarlet in there, and I built it as a screen. We'll just start over here with the 300 first. So I was doing some audio things, trying to record some exhaust notes out of this Charger. So I still got all this stuff set up. Some technology over here. Looks like I'm doing some real diagnostic stuff, but not on these old cars. This is the 1968 Chrysler 300 with its original 440 in it. International. It is a 69 Roadrunner over there. Michael, it's royalty-free bluegrass music. So TikTok and YouTube. I've got TikTok on one device. I got YouTube on another one. That way they don't say you're not allowed to use this music. You've been banned. But this is the 68 300. I've done a few burnouts in the shop with this car because I've got a friend that's got a 1970 Plymouth Satellite, and he had some issues with these wheels and tires that he had on his car. So I said, well, we'll swap them out. You drive around your car for a while, figure out your wheel and tire issue, because I'm not going to drive this around anywhere aside from Aux Land Complex. And I burnt the crap out of this right rear so far. But you got to see this interior. These are the original seats. Jose, I'm in Middle Tennessee. When I bought this car, the lady that sold it took the original dealer plastic off the front seats so she could take pictures of it, and I took them off the rear. But they're still pretty preserved. Along with the interior. Appreciate it, International. And this radio still works in here, which is cool. Only picks up AM amplitude modulation, if anybody was wondering. And I tell these stories a lot, but I like telling them. But I've had this car for a long time, and when I got back into cars in 2019, 2020, I spent a long majority of my adulthood raising my kid, which was the most important and best thing I could ever do in the history of the world. But when, as she got older and started hanging out with other friends and doing her thing and becoming an adult, I wanted to find another car to work on, so I wanted to find another Charger because I know these things better. I've taken this engine apart before in the 90s, and I knew Chargers. And the cheapest one that I could find was a 1969 Dodge Charger, rusted out quarters, no glass, no interior, no engine, piece of junk for 14 grand, and I could not afford it. So I ended up finding this 68 300 for $2,500. Same drivetrain, big block. It's got a 440 in it with a 727. And I understood all that already. So I found this car, pulled the engine out, refreshed it, put it back together, got it driving and running. And then after this one was a 74 Chrysler New Yorker that I found that's in another building on this property. Actually, it's right outside. And then after that was an Imperial, and then after that was a Newport, which is a parts car for the Imperial, then an 88, and then finally was the Roadrunner. No, I picked my kid up in the 1974 Chrysler New Yorker, and right in front of everybody. And when, as we were leaving school, the car broke down and died. But luckily for her, there was so much room in the front of the car that she could duck down and nobody would know that it was her. And my father-in-law at the time had to come pick her up while I worked on the car in her school parking lot, which is great. International. No, it's not a screen use. It's just this was just a regular Dodge Charger, B5 blue with a vinyl top on it. Sorry, I'm fixing the other camera. It's shaky. Not a screen used car, just a replica. It's missing its front bumper. It doesn't have the right color interior, and it doesn't have the roll bar in it. But I do want to see if it starts. The hills are alive. I had some bungee cords on the steering wheel because I made a video the other day of me playing drums while I was driving this car, and I had this the drum bungee cord to the steering wheel. George, it's got a 440 from a 1973 RV in it. The original engine's over there. I was showing it earlier, but it's disassembled. It smells really good in here, by the way. G1S, $6,000. Can you believe that? $6,000 in 1997. I don't have a battery in this, but this caught fire, as you can probably tell. And then it sat for 5 or 6 years, but it burned everything from the ignition coil to the ignition coil harness to the electronic control module, the distributor, all the wires, the carburetor, the fuel line, all that stuff. All of this was gone, and I found a donor truck up in Kentucky for actually the guy ended up donating it once I explained what I was doing, which was cool. Once I get this truck done, I'll make a video of it, and I'll give Scott the credit he deserves. But all I really got to do is get this fuel tank put in, which I have. I just need to seal off this because that's not necessary, that little hole. And then get it put back in here. And I've got to find somebody that, I got to replace those. I can't find those. Mr. Cornbread, I'm sure I probably missed it because I'm walking around. Whenever somebody wants me to start the car, it's hard to read the comments while I'm walking up to it. Elizabeth, that is a 79 Ford. 1979. G1, I have Facebook Marketplace. Appreciate it, Big GM. I'm not sure what everyone's into, but this one, I showed you the 300 over there, and then the Charger, and then the truck, and this is the 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner. I don't know if anybody's interested in automotive documentation. For the love of everything Mopar, let me know somehow. Gene, I'm also living my dream life. Yeah, Noah, same. That was the one thing I think they did right on the Challenger, was get that fuel tank right. I took this one on a 1,200-mile road trip last summer. I had this when I got this thing running originally. It ran on its original carburetor. It had everything original parts on it, except it was missing its fan shroud. When I took it on my 1,200-mile road trip last June, I replaced the radiator, obviously, and the water pump because I was having some overheating issues, and I added a temperature gauge. But other than that, this is an all original. Well, that's not true. It's not all original. It is the original engine, but it's been bored 30 over. It's got new pistons, new rings. It's got machined connecting rods. It's got the cam was ground. The crankshaft was ground and fixed. Basically, this is still at least a 335 horsepower Plymouth Roadrunner 383. But when I put it back in there, you know, the block was magnafluxed and everything, and it was clean and perfected. But if you'll notice, I painted the block. Like, this valve cover is originally old, but the block down here should be nice and clean, but I painted it to make it look like it was all still old. The valley pan in here should be shiny, but it's not. I painted it to make it look like it was authentic. Not trying to be deceptive, but I wanted the engine to look like it was still original. I don't know if I'll be able to show you. I don't think I can. But on the back of it, I don't know if you can see that valley pan. The valley pan right here. See how shiny it is? That's what it would look like originally. But I painted it to make it look like that, if you know what the valley pan is. What's up, Nancy? Sounds good, Cam. Anyone, by chance, anyone into documentation? Like paperwork, you know, for vehicles, old vehicles? EW still here. If so, I got to show you some cool stuff about this one. I'm good, Nancy. Just showcasing some of the vehicles that I have here at AuxAuto, the automotive nonprofit that provides financial mechanical assistance to people that depend on transportation for a living. I basically pay the shop bills for people that can't afford to make their vehicle safe for operation. Here, I'm going to show you this anyway. That's Bill. That's the original owner of the car with this car in about 1970 on a trip down here to Tennessee from Detroit. This is the original estimate for the car. The original bill of sale. The original work order with all of the options that were put on it. Their window sticker. This is the bill doing the math to make sure that he could afford the payments on all these options that he's getting. This handwriting is different from this handwriting. This is Bill's wife to make sure his math is correct. Final sales receipt. Copy of the check that he used to pay for it, $2,000 on a check, the rest of it cash. Proof of insurance. Z-Bart rust process. Paperwork. Build sheet. This is all the stuff that I did to it with the engine. And then the warranty and the manual. And the key card in case you want to get a new key cut. Plus I found some, this is from the dealership, Raynal Brothers, which is also where the Black Ghost was purchased. Raynal on Chalmers. I don't know if this will start because I left the temperature gauge plugged in. And it consistently pulls power. We'll try it. While we're at it, I got to show you this. I got on eBay and I was looking at Roadrunner stuff and I found this jacket. It's an original Plymouth Roadrunner jacket. I got some other Roadrunner things with this, but when I bought this, the lady was like, yeah, my father passed away a couple of years ago. This is his. He was a huge Roadrunner fan. And then I kind of told her what I had going on, and I was like, listen, this car that I'm getting fixed, it also belonged to somebody who recently passed away, and it's got a lot of sentimental value. And I said, I'm going to keep your dad's Roadrunner jacket in this 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner. So a piece of your dad will always be riding along in a Roadrunner for as long as I have this car and I take it to car shows and promote my automotive nonprofit that provides financial mechanical assistance to people that depend on transportation for a living. She was pretty happy about that. As am I. But I feel like I've bothered you enough tonight. That's gonna be it for me. We've hung out. We've talked about some real life stuff. We talked about car stuff. We're hanging out here in the shop of AuxAuto, the automotive nonprofit that provides financial mechanical assistance to people that depend on their transportation for a living. I basically pay the shop bills for people that can't afford to make their vehicle safe or operational. I come in here and I showcase some of the projects that I have, like the Roadrunner, the Corvette, this truck that I'm working on that somebody else owns, the Charger that I own, and that's the Roadrunner, the 300. Just try to get people to follow along and subscribe, and hopefully one day all those subscriptions and follows and comments and likes and everything turn in to a way to pay for all of these AuxAuto assists. I've done 15 of them so far to the tune of about $15,000, so they average out to about $1,000 a piece. I hope that one day these everything that I'm doing, going live and trying to sell things on TikTok and YouTube and all the endeavors that I'm into pays for these AuxAuto assists. And I like to get to the point where I'm doing one a month. I want people to become successful. And sometimes the one thing preventing them from doing that is the transportation that gets them from their home to their job, to make money, to their medical appointments, to live, to pick up their kids, to go to school, to learn something. There's a lot of nonprofits that go out there that house people, that give them clothes, that give them food. But what about the people that are really struggling just to make a living, to get to work? And nobody's going to do that sort of thing because it's not, quote unquote, a necessity. But that's what AuxAuto is. That's what I do. That's what I'm trying to do. AuxAuto is a 501c3 in the state of Tennessee. You can look it up on the IRS if you want to. It's a legitimate nonprofit. We got an EIN. We're a tax exempt organization. So if I do work on cars out here, I can get parts tax free. And if I pay for somebody's shop bill, I can pay for that tax free. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm here. I appreciate you being here. I'm probably going to do this tomorrow night. If you've seen it before, I'm going to do it all again. I'll show you the same thing. It's kind of boring. But I do appreciate you being here. Oh, and I make these stupid videos. I got a bunch of TikTok videos of all these cars and YouTube videos of the things that I'm doing. They're just, I don't know, it's fun. It's a good outlet for me. It's an escape. This whole place out here, Auxland, which is the automotive complex. It's this shop. I've got a couple other buildings and a little bit of property out here where I make all these videos and do fun things for me, hopefully to get people to follow along. Oh, man, I'm out of breath. Jesse's a car guy. Appreciate you being here. That's what I do. Have a good night. See you tomorrow, maybe. Please. Please. I just want to see you again tomorrow. Thank you.